Have you struggled with your nutrition before? Hello, how you doing? My name's Bradleywalkr, I'm a personal trainer for Glasgow, and it's going to be Nutrition 101 with me. So if you've been into training, right, odds are you've no doubt tried to dabble in your nutrition, started trying to count calories, count macros, or whatever it may be. You may even just be trying to eat healthier. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to make things nice and simple for you. I'm going to show you up on the board here exactly what you need to do to go and get the most results from your nutrition. So you might be wondering, why am I doing this? The reason I'm doing this, right, is I've got a massive goal this year of changing 1,000 people's lives through their fitness and nutrition, right? I thought by doing this, I've put this out online, I'll be able to help as many people as possible. Obviously this is going to be for free, so you'll be able to go and learn something from it. Go start implementing it into your training and your diet, you'll get to see results straight away as soon as you start doing this, right? I've also got a free download available down in the description below. It's called 21 Health Hacking Meals. All this is 21 healthy meals that are about 500 calories a piece and they're packed full of protein, right? In there I'll also teach you a wee bit more about counting calories and how to fit food you like into your diet so you can go and get the most results from your training while still enjoying your diet and making it sustainable, right? So let's start off nice and simple, right? First thing we're going to talk about is calories. That's right. So, calories, right? What are calories? Calories are simply the energy source of the body, right? Every piece of food you eat and every bit of juice you drink has calories in it. The only thing that doesn't have calories is diet juices and water, but God knows what goes into diet juice. I don't trust that stuff anyway. I still drink it, but I don't know what the hell's gone into that. So as I said before, calories are just essentially the energy source of the body, right? We need them for such functions as moving about and also just for simple things like digesting and thinking as well. So your body is using calories all the time. Everybody has a set amount of calories that their body needs to maintain their bodily functions, but also to maintain where their body is right now. So if you eat maintenance calories, your body essentially will not change. So how do calories work, right? How do you hear people talk about calories when they're trying to lose weight or whatever, right? And what it is energy in, this is energy out. So we have energy in versus energy hopefully my spelling isn't too off in these as well. So energy in, all that is basically going to be is your food. And energy out is simply you moving. Another thing that would be included in your energy out would also again be your kind of brain functions and your bodily functions, right? But we'll just keep it simple, we'll just say you moving is going to be basically your energy out, okay? So if you can imagine, right, let's just draw it on a wee scale here. So this is the outside, this is inside, right? So if you've got more energy coming in than you do going out, the scale will tip this way and you will therefore gain weight. If you have more energy going out than you do coming in, aka meaning you're burning more calories than you're consuming, your fat stores will then go down, and that is basically it. It's that simple. So let me just explain this a wee bit easier, right? I'll kind of draw this as like how a human's body will basically work then, right? So let's just draw myself. In fact, his arms are too skinny to be mine. That looks, no wait, never mind, that looks like a set of boobs, so I'll rub that off. I'm just going with me with skinny arms, right? So let's just say we've got more energy coming in than we do coming out just now, right? So this could be maybe you're sitting on the couch eating all day, not doing anything, right? So as that happens, right, what's going to start happening is your body fat is going to start storing all over your body here, and the more it does it, the thicker it gets. It keeps building up and building up and building up and building up, and this is how you essentially gain fat. And there you go, this is me. This is a fatter version of myself. So this is if I've got too much energy coming in and not enough coming out, so the scale would be tipped like this. So here I'm eating too much and not moving enough. Now let's tip the scale in the opposite direction. this on so I don't get covered in ink. So let's now tip the scale in the opposite direction. So now I've got more energy coming out than I do coming in. So maybe now I've decided, right, I'm becoming too much of a couch potato, I need to get to the gym. So now I'm going to start moving, and all of a sudden I start tapping in to this fat round about my body, because all your fat is simply stored energy, right? If you can imagine, your body's kind of saving up all this energy for the day where you run out of food coming in. So it's saving it up, saving it up, saving it up, and that's what's storing as body fat, right? So whatever you don't need at that moment in time, your body stores it as energy, as fat, right? So now that I've not got as much coming in as I do going out, I'm moving about a lot more, my body's using up more and more energy, but there's not enough coming in to supply it, right? So it's basically having to tap into its stored energy source, aka fat, to get that away. If you do this for long enough and at a healthy pace, you will burn fat. And that's how simple it is. Energy in versus energy out. So let's make me away there. So if you're looking to lose fat, you want to be in something called a calorie deficit. Let's just rub this off now as well. So you want to be in something called a calorie deficit, right? So a calorie, oops, hopefully you can see this. Calorie deficit. So remember before I was saying everybody has a maintenance calorie, right? So let's just use me again as an example here. Let's just say my maintenance, 9, 10, and hopefully I've spelled that right as well. Let's just say my maintenance calories equals 2,000, right? So how I create a calorie deficit is simply eat below this, right? So if I had 1,950, I'd be in a 50 calorie deficit. If I had 1,700 calories, that would be a 300 calorie deficit, and so on and so forth, right? So depending on your starting stage, right? So let's just say you're somebody who trains, but you're just a wee bit heavier than you want to be, right? You want to be in a small calorie deficit to basically lose a little bit of fat at a time. Reason being, it's going to be more sustainable and basically healthier for you. Let's say you're somebody that doesn't train at all, so sorry, let's just cover that again. So if you're the healthy person who's looking to lose a bit of weight, I'd recommend you go about 300 calorie deficit, and this is going to make you lose roughly 1 pound of fat per week. That's not an exact number. It's kind of a bit of back and forth going on this, and I've kind of seen recently, but that's a story for a different day. But let's just say 300 calories is going to make you lose 1 pound of fat a day, right? If you eat about 500 calories below, so you're then going from 1,700 to 1,500, you're going to lose roughly 2 pounds of fat. Again, this is per week. Okay, so if you're somebody who's maybe really heavy, maybe say for example you're potentially obese, or you're in a really unhealthy position, I would recommend, again depending on how heavy you are, to go up to about maybe 700 calorie deficit at the most to start with. Reason being, we don't want to be losing fat too quickly from our body, as your body will then start to think it's in starvation mode, and it will start to slow down the kind of rate at which you lose fat. So you want to lose fat at a nice steady slow rate. Obviously the unhealthier you are, the bigger you are, the more you've got to lose, so you can go with a bigger deficit, right? So now let's go into a calorie surplus. So let's say, yeah, again, my wee skinny self, and you want to be bigger self with the muscles and the six pack and the big legs that I don't have. But let's just say you want to get to muscle man. That's a terrible drawing, but hey ho. Muscle man and skinny dude. If you want to go from here to there, you need to be in something called a calorie surplus. So again, there's a little bit of debate back and forth in the kind of fitness scene whether or not you need to be in a calorie surplus to gain muscle mass, right? In my personal opinion, you don't need to be in a calorie surplus, but if you're somebody who usually struggles to gain weight, I would always put you in a calorie surplus. Even when I'm trying to gain muscle mass, I go into a calorie surplus myself, but right now I'm going to say you don't actually need to be in one to gain muscle mass. So in a calorie surplus, calorie surplus, all you're simply doing now is going above maintenance. So here's me again, and my maintenance and equals 2000 calories. Again, so this time if we want to go in the opposite direction, all we can do is simply eat more than that, and that is you in a calorie surplus. So again, let's go for, if you're eating 2300, you're roughly going to gain 1 pound of body, you're going to roughly gain 1 pound of body weight that week. Not all of it will be muscle mass. While you're in a calorie surplus, you will gain some body fat. That's just kind of how it goes. You can never gain 100% muscle mass. So I would always recommend, if you're somebody looking to build muscle, to start off in a small calorie surplus of about 300 calories max. Let's say you're someone who's really thin and really struggles to gain weight. I then recommend you maybe go up to about 2500 calories or 500 calories above your maintenance calories, right? So now that you've seen that, you now must understand the importance of why you must track them, right? If you're somebody who's trying to lose fat and you're not gaining calories, you're fighting a losing battle, right? You'll hit a point where you just won't get any further anymore, right? And whereas if you're tracking your calories, you'll consistently keep losing weight because you can then adjust them if you need to. Whereas if you're somebody that's just eating healthy, you could be, now that you understand calories, you could be eating healthy, be eating 2000 calories or however many calories of your healthy food, right? So the healthy food doesn't actually matter when it comes to losing weight. What matters most is calories, right? Don't forget that. You can eat too much healthy foods and not lose weight, which is something I always tell people and they're always really surprised about. But the healthier foods usually have less calories in them, and that's why people kind of think, oh, cool, that's how you're going to lose weight. So that's why they are healthier foods, because they're less calorically dense and usually have better macronutrients in them, which brings me on to my next point, okay? In fact, one last thing just before I go away with calories. How I count calories myself is with MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal. Right, so that was meant to say pal there, but my writing's all over the place. MyFitnessPal, right? This is the easiest and most simple way to count calories, right? It does all the hard work for you. All you need to do is scan your food and enter the serving size that you're having in it, right? My 21 Health Hacking Meals free download tells you all about this. It shows you exactly how to do it step by step. So if you're not tracking your calories yet, or you're tracking your calories now, go download that. I promise you, you'll highly benefit from it. So next up we have macros. Let's change the colour of this pen just to keep it fun. So next up we have macros. What are macros? Macros is short for macronutrients. So if you've ever heard of protein, carbs or fats, these are all macronutrients. So we've got protein, 15 different colours actually, carbs, and then you have fats. All of these are equally as important as each other. Usually you find a lot of people have diets where they're maybe saying, oh, I'm having a no carb diet, or I'm having a no fat diet, or whatever it may be, or maybe it's in a high protein, right? What I personally recommend is you get all three of them in. So I'm never going to say that one is better than another, or one is bad, or whatever, right? They're all equally as important. So just to give you kind of a wee rough kind of bit of info on these, right? So protein, what does protein do? Protein helps repair and rebuild tissue. Muscle mass is tissues, but it also helps with your skin and stuff like that as well, right? So protein essentially is the building blocks of life. So it builds and maintains tissue. Carbs, to just keep it simple, is basically your immediate energy source of the body. So if you need to go do something, you're usually using your carbohydrates as the energy for that, right? So carbs are an immediate energy source of the body. Fats, again, have obviously hundreds of good benefits from them, right? But the two main ones I'm going to say is the one, help promote healthy hormone levels, so like your testosterone, your estrogen, whatever. Fats help keep them nice and level, so you need the fats in there for that, right? They've got hundreds of different benefits, right? And it's further explained in the 21 health hacking meals. But another thing your fats are used for, again, is another source of energy. So both of these are sources of energy. The main energy source of the body is obviously calories, but these are your kind of two energy sources, if you will. Speaking of calories, right? All of these macronutrients are not made equally when it comes to calories. So protein per 1 gram, so 1 g of protein equals 4 calories. That's a calorie saying, by the way, if anybody doesn't know that. There's a place in Glasgow called the Cal Kitchen, but people call it kcal because of the way it's wrote, but it means cows, right? So 1 gram of protein has 4 calories in it. 1 gram of carbs also has 4 calories in it, or 4 calories. And then 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. So it has more than double the amount of these, right? So if you have something with 10 grams of fats in it, it's got 90 calories, 10 grams of carbs, 40, 10 grams of protein, 40, okay? So what this basically means is for each bit of fat you're eating, each calorie of fat you're eating, it's much more calorically dense, meaning there's more energy in the kind of same sort of space, right? So just to give you an example on that, if you take a big scoop of peanut butter, it's about roughly 200 to 400 calories, depending on the size of spoon you use. Whereas if you eat, so that's fats, and if you eat an apple, which is carbs, it's about 80 grams. So you're actually having a big apple versus a small serving of peanut butter, and that's got much more calories, actually about 4 times, depending again on the size of the spoonful you take. Another thing to do with them, fats are more filling, so if you eat high fat foods, you actually feel more full. Carbs aren't as filling, and proteins are satiating, which basically means they kind of make you feel a bit fuller as well, right? So if you ever notice, you can eat tons and tons and tons of pasta, but you can't really eat loads of peanut butter or loads and loads of chicken or beef or whatever you're getting your protein from. So where do you find each of these macronutrients, right? So just to keep it nice and simple again, so fats are going to come from stuff like peanut butter, egg yolks. Fats are on all sorts of attached to usually all sorts of meats, nuts, avocados, stuff like that. Okay, if you want to find more, you can just Google that. It's very simple to do. Seeds also have fat in them as well. Carbs are things like pastas, breads, oats, cereals, etc, etc. There's again a massive list of them. And then proteins is the one where kind of the most controversy, let's say, is because proteins can be found in meats. Most of the meats all contain protein. In fact, all meats contain protein. And where you find the best kind of quality protein is in meats. They have something called complete amino acids in them, which basically means it's a kind of full form of protein. Whereas if you're maybe vegan or vegetarian, and obviously you want to be eating meat, you can find this in foods like tempeh, and there's tempeh, don't know the name of that, right? Soy, pea protein, etc, etc. So these do obviously have the same amount of protein in them, all that, but they're not basically complete, right? They do kind of miss some things that the meats do have. I'll probably get some backlash for that from vegans, but that's just kind of my kind of what I know from that there. So again, different sources of calories and macronutrients. So macros, right, let's just kind of to reiterate, right, macros are second to calories. If you want to lose weight or gain weight, calories are number 1, but macros are a close second, right? So how I usually explain it to people is calories basically control whether your weight's going up or down, or whether you're gaining mass or not. Macros essentially control what sort of weight you're gaining, right? So if you're eating a high protein diet and trying to gain weight at the same time, odds are you're going to build a bit more muscle mass. Whereas if you're eating like a high carb and high fat diet and not really enough protein, you're going to gain a bit more body fat, just as that's kind of how it works. So basically calories control whether your weight goes up and down, or whether you gain weight or lose weight. Macros control what weight you tend to lose. So again, if you're maybe like in a diet, you want to be having more protein into your diet, or you've got less carbs and fats, that's going to make sure you maintain the muscle mass but still drop the fat. And if you're looking to gain weight, you want to make sure you're getting enough protein in so you're building the muscle mass, but also you need the carbs and fats to kind of fuel you as well, right? So again, just to reiterate that, calories control your weight, and then the macros control sort of what weight you're gaining or losing. And last but certainly not least, we have something called micros or micronutrients. Hopefully you can see that in the board and it's not too light. So micronutrients, what are they? They basically are minerals and vitamins. Where can you find vitamins and minerals? In pretty much every food you eat, but some are more packed with vitamins and minerals than others. So minerals can be found, let me just write these down actually. So let's just write minerals plus vitamins. So minerals can be found in stuff like meats, right? You actually get them in fruit, vegetables. All foods have them, but some foods contain higher amounts of them. So you get like mineral water and that sort of stuff, right? So your minerals are pretty much in every food you can imagine. And then vitamins, again, there's vitamins in every food you can imagine. Different vitamins come from different sources of different foods. So for example, the fat in meat contains vitamin E and K, I believe, which you can only really find in fats. And then vitamins like A, B and C all come from fruit and vegetables. So that is basically where you're going to find these in all sorts of foods, but fruit and vegetables are going to be more packed with vitamins, and then meats are going to be a bit more packed with minerals. Micronutrients are a crucial part of your diet. Most people don't track them. I myself don't even track them as well. What I just tend to focus on and tell people to do is make sure they're getting a highly nutritious diet, meaning lots of fruit and veg with your day-to-day diet. Fruit contains usually mostly carbs, and fruits are a bit more calorically dense than vegetables, meaning you could eat a plate of vegetables and it would have barely any calories, whereas you could eat a plate of fruit and it could be packed full of calories because of the sugars in it. So in regards to tracking your macros, again, I wouldn't tell you certain amounts you might have, because that's more of a specialist nutritionist sort of thing. Different people have different deficiencies in them, just to do with their diet or their genetics. So I wouldn't recommend telling you anyone's to go and track. All I would recommend is you try and get as much of them into your diet as possible. So that is essentially it. So what we've covered is calories, and they control weight. We have macros, and they control body. That's a D. Composition, right? Okay, body composition is just simply a ratio of fat to muscle mass you have in your body. Obviously, if you're losing weight through calories, that will bring down your body fat or your muscle mass. But well, in your diet, these are going to be kind of controlling your body composition, if you will. And then we have, whoa, nearly fell there. Then we have micros, which are just health. So always getting lots of them into your diet. And that is basically going to be it for the day. So that has been Nutrition 101 with me, Bradleywalkr. If you'd like more help with your diet, go down and make sure you download the free 21 Health Hacking Meals, where you get the 21 healthy meals and you learn how to track calories exactly, how to fit foods you like into your diet. If you would like guaranteed results, you can work with me on a one-to-one basis through my online coaching group. Where in there we basically have weekly Q&As, a weekly stretching class, but as well as that, you'll actually speak with me once a month. I'll send you out different calories, nutrition things to follow, training to go and do. I'll set out your kind of full structure for you, and once again you'll be part of this private group where I can basically help you along the way with any questions you may have. So if you want more information on that, you'll just drop me a message or leave a comment on this. You can get me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, just search Bradleywalkr Fitness and I'll come up. Peace out, make sure you go and check out all the videos.